What's up, kids? We're back. Finally, we're back, because you probably have noticed I've been away for, it must be getting on for 6 weeks, maybe more. I'm going to have a bit of a cop-out. I'm going to blame AMD. They put out the Crimson drivers for AMD cards, and it's completely knackered my... I keep getting a game DVR problem. I'm not alone, from what I can tell. Lots of other people have the same problem, but regardless, we're here for a bit of a clean-up. I'm back to Fraps. I sort of don't like doing it because it makes the video files absolutely massive. It just means that it's a little bit more cumbersome to put content out, but, you know, it's about time that we get back on track. Leaving footprints everywhere. So, what's going to go on? First of all, Adventures in Bastardry. You'll have noticed the last video that we did was really bad in terms of quality. That again was somewhat, at least, down to my graphics card. So GTA 5 and Shadow of Mordor actually has the same problem, and that's that either I get an atrocious frame rate or it crashes intermittently. The problem is always to do with my graphics card resetting, is how it describes it in the errors. But needless to say, the point is that when I'm using the game DVR to record, if the game crashes, I lose the video footage. So that obviously got very frustrating, and the only way that we could make episode 3, I mean that was something like the 6th attempt, was for me to run the game in safe mode. It was just a test to see how terrible it looked, and obviously it looked really bad. So we won't be doing that again, and we're going to look into a different way of making it. In the meantime, what is coming back is Grand Prix World. I've taken on board all the feedback you guys have given, which has been really good actually. I mean, maybe not in terms of viewer numbers, but in terms of sort of feedback from people and emails I've received. Grand Prix World's definitely been the most popular content that's been on the channel. And what I'm hearing from you really is that it's kind of hard to track the decision-making process over so many episodes. So essentially what will happen is we'll have a discussion about driver selection, for example, and I'll begin making offers, and then I'll negotiate with sponsors, and then we'll go and do qualifying, and then we'll have a race, and then we come back and you don't see that immediate impact. It becomes kind of hard to recall who's rejected what offer. It's kind of hard to monitor the progression of negotiations. If you recall, there's that little bar full of coloured boxes that fills up as negotiations progress, and some people have said it can be quite difficult to see how far it's gone between different rounds of the championship, and to kind of maintain an understanding of why that is. So, you know, why has it not moved at all, for example. In order to combat that, what we're going to do is, I'm still going to do the race, I think it's San Marino that we were on last. I'm going to do that race as normal. That'll be a normal episode, and then we'll do, I'd say 1, but I'm guessing it might stretch to 2 or even 3 episodes where we off-screen the races and the qualifying, or let the AI do it. I've kind of been reluctant to do that. It was initially my first thought, because the first season is the one where your decisions impact you the least. So it didn't seem to make too much sense to focus on it, but I know those who want to understand how the game works, or maybe haven't seen it before, but it would be right up their street, sort of need an understanding of what it is the game offers, and that means showing the full experience. Oh, that's a precariously placed crisp packet. So as part of the channel cleanup, what we'll do is we will basically rush through the remainder of Season 1, and I will talk you through all the negotiations and the effect on staff morale of various things. I've been reluctant to do it as well, simply because we're going to take a performance hit. We've been very close to capturing an errant point here or there. Pedro Diniz has been incredible. So that kind of means that we're going to lose out by simming the races, but again, it's only Season 1, it's not like we've got a lot to lose, and I really think it might help you guys keep track of what's actually going on, and it gives me an opportunity to explain a bit more concisely and clearly how certain elements work. If you happen to be playing through the game, whether you knew about it before or if it's because you've seen it on the channel, I'd love to hear how you're getting on. Any tips you've got that you might share with other viewers, so on. I mean, the great thing about that game is everyone has their own way of doing it. I've got my way, which is reasonably successful, but there are players out there who can, win championships with Minardi in half the time that I can, and so I'm always keen to hear how people get along. What else is going on? I'll try and keep this as brief as I can. We're going to start some new series. The Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth playthrough will continue, but it won't be getting an episode this week, so I can get started on some new stuff. I found a way to record RimWorld, and I'd really, really like to get that going for you as soon as I can, but that won't be immediately either. So chances are what you're going to see initially is either Crusader Kings 2, if I can figure out a way to present it in a understandable and viewer-friendly manner, which has been notoriously difficult so far. Or we'll press on with something else, something a bit more surprising. I've also got a whole bunch of retro Star Wars games that I kind of think are well placed to make an appearance on the channel now. So maybe we'll do a playthrough of TIE Fighter or something like that. I know that's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea, but we do what we can. And also, there's a whole lot of stuff going on with Star Citizen. I know my Star Citizen content can be a bit divisive. Fans don't tend to like to hear criticism, as I said in my very first video about it. But I'm afraid that's kind of tough. What's out there now is brilliant, and I really want to show it to you. The multi-crew that was added after my last video, I think, really shows you the potential of the game and how far it's starting to come. It really is picking up pace in terms of development, but there's still a lot to criticise. And I know many of you don't want to hear it, but the moment that I stop saying what I believe, I become completely useless to you. It doesn't matter if you are made angry by my opinions, it's just my opinion. But I kind of think, someone could stumble on that video, not that I get many viewers, and make a purchase decision based on what I've said. So I'm not going to say it's the best game in the world, when quite clearly it's unfinished, and it's buggy, and there are questions around how it's funded and how it's being produced. That's just the ethical thing to do, and it might sound a bit high and mighty to talk about having ethics when you get 5 views per video, but it's the principle. One day, God forbid, more people might see my content. Chances are against it, but it is a possibility. And the only way to maintain views and be of value and to have a place among all the many thousands of streamers and video makers out there is to offer some level of credibility, and that's what I'm doing. Some of you might appreciate that. I didn't get that impression from the other videos, but we're just going to all have to live with it. Anyway, let the cleanup commence. There should be, I'm hoping, a series of videos going up today, but it all depends how well Frap serves me. In the interim, hope you've been good. Hope you've had a good new year so far. And I'll see you very, very, very soon, I hope.